So today is August, I think 6th. It's Sunday, like August 6th, 2017. Anyways, so this is gonna be not a very good day. I was trying to remember. I think that I started the Tower of Power series about 2 years ago, actually. I think I've bought the boat, had it for a while, didn't do anything with it. Probably bought the boat with the motor on it about 4 years ago, and then started working on the motor probably 2 years ago. And I think I went through 1 or 2 winters with it down here in the basement, at least one full winter, and did quite a bit of work. Obviously, you guys who have been here from the beginning know that. So anyways, we got the maiden voyage. The last video you guys saw was the maiden voyage of the Tower of Power, and what I ended up learning was that the linkage needed to be adjusted for the throttle, so I never actually got it to wide open throttle. But when I did have it going close to wide open throttle, even with that prop, which is wasn't a very good prop to begin with, it was damaged, and also not the right size prop for the gearing of that lower unit. That thing was humming right along, and at the higher RPMs it was nice and smooth running engine. Things were really looking up. And during the series I've had people chime in and give various advice, and some of the advice I took to heart, and some of the advice I didn't pay enough attention to. All right, well, a little light on the subject. Now I found what I've been searching around for in the dark. So, does anybody remember what this is? All right, let's see. Sockets, wrenches. I think that's all I need for now. Can help guide me because I can't see the lip. I need to get this lip into this slot. Stand there, okay? Well, stand here. All right.
The tank came off.
So today's boat rescue day. So as some people predicted, the transom on the boat wasn't sound. And a few days ago, we went out for a ride, and I didn't take the camera with me. So unfortunately, you guys didn't get to witness the actual moment when the transom let go and all the drama that ensued. But had the three boys with me on the boat, and we were going in a cove, and I wasn't even pushing it very hard, and I gave it a little more throttle, and there was a loud bang, and I looked back, and the motor was tilted back at about a 45-degree angle into the water. I throttled it down to an idle, but I didn't take it out of gear because I knew I had to make it for the closest shoreline, which we did, and limped into shore. And the boat was actually not taking on water at that point. All of this that you see now, this actually happened days after. So what ended up happening was we rigged up some straps and by pulling on the rear of the motor, rigged up straps that run all the way up to the bow of the motor, we were actually able to pull the motor back vertical enough so that we could float the boat. At which point I got a tow back home from the other end of the pond. I got a tow back home to the shore here. And then when we got back here, we kept the straps on the way they were, and we kept the boat actually, we had it moored like it would normally be moored, and with the straps on there, figured it would be okay for a couple of days because I wasn't able to, I think all this happened on Friday, and I wasn't able to do anything yesterday. Because we had a family reunion thing going on at the house. So today was the first day I was able to come back to the boat. Well, when we came back to the boat today and looked at it, this is what we found. It's now parallel to the shoreline, and it listed over to one side severely, and it flooded. Now, my theory as to what happened is that we got a lot of rain yesterday. Kind of rained out our family reunion for the first half of the day. I also think the reason why the transom decided to rip out the other day, even though we weren't pushing it very hard, as opposed to the first maiden run, was on the first maiden run, there was no water in the hull. But between the first time that we took the boat out and the second time we took the boat out, we had some rainstorms. And although there was no water visibly sitting in the boat at that point, there was probably water under the floor, which was causing the boat to be a lot heavier than it was previously. And I think that extra weight of that water in the boat is what was another major contributing factor. I mean, obviously the rotted transom, which we'll inspect more closely, but I already pulled out a piece of the plywood inside that transom, and it was black. So the transom plywood is completely rotted out. That's obviously the main cause of the problem. But as to why it didn't fail on the first maiden voyage, even though I was close to wide open throttle on that voyage, I think it was clearly the weight of the water did it. So anyways, now we're gonna get the motor out.
Oh, so you want to post it yourself?
Yeah, I have a YouTube following, you know.
Continue with your story.
Oh, you know what, I'll tell you that story some other time. In fact, I could use a cold one tonight.
Could you?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
A good day.
So you're going to use, what are you going to use, a chain, or are you going to use?
I got a chain fall. That way I could slowly.
Oh, you're going to go that way with it?
Yeah. Well, I can't really. I mean, ideally this would be over that way more, but you see the trees in the way, and I can't really change my angle.
What's
So.
holding that thing on?
What?
What's holding that on?
It's a slot like a crow's mouth,
Yeah,
and that's it.
that's it?
Yeah.
You put
It's not gonna
chain on it
slide on
last
you?
time.
You're not worried about sliding?
Well, if you tilt the bucket down far enough, it'll slide off.
I mean this way.
Oh no, it's pretty long. That steel underneath is pretty thick.
Oh, all right.
We did it last time
Yeah, I've used this before.
on this motor too, and on the 200 horsepower motor too. Right, Daddy?
Now your nylon strap there, what else you got with that nylon strap?
What, this?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, no, I was just thinking. I mean, you're gonna have that chain fall out there. You're gonna have to raise this thing here up before you do anything else.
Well, what's going to happen is
No, you're gonna have
as
35 feet of chain
as I
in the
start
water.
pulling the chain, it's gonna start bringing it vertical, and it's also gonna start lifting at the same time. Yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd want this thing to actually be over here more, and I'd want it to be actually out a little further, but I can't.
Well, as soon as you put some tension on that thing, it's gonna be okay anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the hope. Worst thing that'll happen is if it slides out this way, it might try to go under. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So how'd it go yesterday?
Had a good
Fun.
time.
You had, you got pretty lucky with the weather.
Yeah, I was out there making burgers and hot dogs in the rain.
But they turned out good. Then we had a tractor ride.
Yeah, and I gave all the little kids tractor rides, which amounted to
10 kids.
7 tractor rides.
There was 10 kids.
Yeah,
I didn't get one yet.
Amber had already left, so I didn't give Amber a ride.
All of the cousins.
I ate a lot.
Did you?
I had 2 burgers and 2 hot dogs.
I got 10 burgers. No, 3 burgers and 1 hot dog.
I had
You didn't
2
get
hot
3
dogs.
burgers.
I had 2 hot dogs.
3 burgers.
You got a bucket?
Even if we start taking some out of there, it's gonna keep on rushing in because
Well, I was thinking when you got the motor off.
When we get the weight off, yeah, we'll see. Well, when we get the motor off, we'll actually see if we can get the back of it to go back out that way. And then we can hook onto the bow, lift the bow, and water will run out the back.
mm-hmm.
We might actually be able to refloat this thing. Provided there aren't any big rocks over here that have already smashed a hole in the bottom.
There, I bet there are.
Oh, really? Do you? You have a rosy outlook of the whole situation, do you?
Yes, he
Good
does.
advice.
I hate about chain falls.
Mm-hmm. No matter what you do with it, it's always in a knot.
Always one chain too long, or it always seems like it's one chain too long. I told Carol, I said, if we decide to do this again with the family reunion type thing, I think we're going to ask you to babysit the cat for the day. Because she was not having a good day yesterday.
Really?
No.
She's so friendly. She should have got along with everybody.
She hissed at my uncle.
She hissed at me.
She just said everybody.
We know for a fact.
She has no sense of humor,
We
that
know
cat.
for a fact that there's a couple of people in our family that she just does not get along with, and they were both there. But then with that, with all the screaming little wild Indians running around, the kids, you know,
Yeah.
she was kind of stressed out, and she was already not feeling so well because she had
She threw up 4 times in the morning.
threw up 4 times in the morning.
Wow.
She's finally getting back, but even this morning when she came down to eat, she was kind of like slinking around and looking like.
Where's
She thought,
everybody?
like any
Who's gonna
second
jump
now,
out at her?
everybody's gonna jump out of the walls at her. So
That is crazy.
this wasn't worth that kind of stress.
But next time we're going down to Delaware for the family reunion.
Or, Megan just
You
said,
guys think that, but I never said that.
Mommy said no.
Huh?
Mommy
she
said we
take
might.
you.
Mommy said, you know what? No, Mommy enjoys long drives along with you two. I mean, you 3.
No.
Butch, did you go to Delaware when you brought
I
Angelina
went
back?
through Delaware.
That's what I think. Go through Delaware.
Hey.
Now, if I was already going through Delaware, I would stop and visit family. But going to Delaware just for that,
I think you have to know your way around here, because I thought it was just one long miserable ride.
Can I do that for you?
Nope. Because I don't know what's going to happen as this starts moving. You know, I don't want tootsies in the way.
No, there's poison ivy directly behind you, so.
I see it.
You think if you raised your bucket, it'd be like easier for you?
Instead of doing this,
Yeah.
yeah, I just have a little more control doing it this way.
Yeah.
You know, I get a little nervous.
But the thing is, once that thing starts to move, you're in a bad spot.
I'm what?
You're in a bad spot, and there's nobody else that knows how to run that thing.
Well, if this falls right here, it's not going to hit me. It's going to smash that to heck.
Where's the blades for that motor?
I know how to use that.
They're right here.
Okay.
They're there. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to have to undo the straps now, I think. I think that's what's holding it now.
Be careful about it.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Mark, stop.
Okay, I was
Yeah, Butch is walking away. He doesn't want to get hurt.
A lot of editing to do. They have no idea what they sound like.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing it back when I'm editing it to like get out the slow parts and everything, and I hear the stupidest things being said between them. All for what? Just to, this one's got to get this one, zing this one and tune this one up. This one's got to instigate between this one and...
Aiden, you make a better door than me.
And, you know, always,
What do you
always.
What was the highest like motor you've had?
What kind of motor?
Like boat motor?
That I've had?
Yeah.
Just the 40.
This is a nice 115 right here. This will go good on your boat. Really
Yeah.
give it some pep.
Turn it right over.
Peter, shut up.
I think my boat's only designed for a 75 horse. That's all it recommends.
Hey, take a picture. It lasts longer. Nah, I'm going to pull it right out of here with this. Oh, no, you mean a boat trailer? No, I got my boat trailer. Problem's going to be getting the water out. Thanks anyways.
Hey, the plug's nice and high. You could probably let it out right now, couldn't you?
Huh?
Here, pull the plug now.
You know, that's the thing about this boat. The floor goes all the way to the transom in the back. There's no bilge. So obviously I think water was under the floor after the rain,
Yeah.
but it's almost like the only way you could get it out is if you have it on the trailer and you pull that plug on the bottom. As opposed to like other boats I've had where it collects in the bilge and you can pump it out from there.
Yeah.
So you don't have to take the boat out of the water to drain it. I needed to wash these anyway.
Wash them. You're getting them rusty.
They were rusty because I was storing these I was storing this chain fall in a bucket, and water had gotten inside the bucket. I didn't know it was there, so the chain was resting in the bottom. Right.
Now you're lifting up the boat, Daddy.
Well, the boat has a certain amount of buoyancy, and if you take enough weight off of it, it's going to want to come up. Even with that much water in it, it's still got a little bit of buoyancy.
Oh my, it's just coming right off.
Yeah. That was pretty much part of the plan, except now I'm pulling the steering shaft right out, so I got to unbolt that.
Need your tools?
Yeah.
What do you need?
It was something.
Let me try a 5/8.
Yeah, I was about to say something 8. 5/8 socket?
No, a wrench. I need a wrench, Peter.
Oh, I picked it out right first one. There you go.
This is the only thing that kept us from completely falling off the boat into the water.
So what happened? You hit a big wave or something, and it just
No,
a shock, or?
the transom's completely rotted.
Oh, is it?
And the first time out, I was going faster and pushing it harder than when it happened. The difference was the first time out, there was no water under the floor. I think the additional weight of the rain that we had gotten, I think there was water under there, and it was putting more stress on it. Because I didn't give it that much throttle when it let go. We had taken a really nice leisurely go around the entire pond pretty much. And then we were coming back, and Peter and I wanted to go back down into that cove again to look at the boat that was down there. And we went down and looked at that boat, and then I turned around, and as I was turning and straightening back out, I gave it a little throttle, and there was a loud bang, and I looked back, and the motor was just at a 45-degree angle off the back.
Rex. Scared me because I was in the back too.
Me too. I pulled my finger so fast I broke myself. Or gave myself a sliver off the padding, so when you jump off.
And then Tim and Dale towed us back. But we were in my mom's car.
Tim's boat was out of the water because he was getting the carburetors redone. And he had to come with the pontoon boat. Dale came down, but I had totally forgotten that he's in a cast. So he helped me as much as he could, but he's basically one-handed.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be stopping him though. He put a new motor in a jet ski in a wave runner for his friend across the pond there the other day. And then I know they were itching to get it out there. I heard it out there yesterday.
Yeah.
But then I saw them running the trailer back again, so I don't know if they're taking it back out or what. I don't know if
So
there's
who's his
problem with
friend? Bill.
it. No, Pete, guy in the brown house.
Oh.
I guess he had this wave runner and something happened with the oil injection system and it cooked one of the pistons in the middle. So he brought it to a marina, and the marina put a new motor in it, and I guess he didn't have it long at all, and it did it again. And then he ended up having to fight them with court and everything because they didn't want to warranty it, or it was some crazy thing. So finally, in the end, they ended up saying, "Well, just come and get it, and we'll just give you your money back." So he got it back from them and didn't even bother looking at it, and it sat at his house for quite a while doing nothing. And then Dale said, well, why don't we check into, fixing it ourselves? He found a company down south that sells remanufactured motors for that. And he said, we get the whole motor brand new for $1,200. So he said, we should do that. And he looked at the oil injection system, and he found the oil injection system was all sludged up. It was completely blocked, and that's why it was. They figured that's why it was killing the engines. So. But he said when they took that motor apart, he said they took the spark plug out and he put a screwdriver in there, and the screwdriver fell all the way down. So they took the head off. There were no pistons in the motor. So the Marino, when they gave him back his jet ski, they must have pulled the motor that they put in. They pulled it out and they put what was left of, I guess, the original motor he had, but they didn't even bother giving him his pistons back.
Jeez.
I mean, just pieces.
Yeah.
So.
Daddy, I have a question. Is there a way to start this motor up without it being on the boat?
That's what he did when he first started it up.
Are you new to the family?
No, like without it being on the boat.
You're obviously not one of my subscribers.
That's what he did.
You don't remember when I had it on the engine stand sitting in the backyard running?
No, I said without the motor being on the boat.
Like in the water?
You should
Yes.
have done.
Goes away.
How?
Think back.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
That's why the engine stand is outside.
I had this running in the backyard, Peter, with a hose hooked up to it.
I know, but it was on the boat.
No, it wasn't.
No. First time I had this running, I had it on the engine stand with the low unit completely off. And I hooked a hose up directly to pump water through the motor. And then I put it on the boat, and I had it on the trailer on the boat and ran it.
But don't you need the key to start it up?
He had a button.
I had the wiring. I had a homemade button, push button that I could push to make it crank over. I made a temporary thing. Yeah, no, it can be run out of the water. Okay. I think all I gotta do now is I gotta take my throttle and shifting linkage off. I think it'll be separated from the boat.
How can you do that, Daddy?
Huh?
How can you do
He's
that?
doing it.
How can I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, magic.
Harry Potter.
Smallest
Peter,
socket.
smallest socket that I have.
Smallest?
Yeah. I think it's 3/8.
Yep.
Next size up.
Now, do you need a need your ratchet or anything else with it?
I only have the long one for that.
Fine. I don't have a 7/16 socket yet.
Well, you're still looking for it. I wasn't gonna walk over one.
I have a long 7/16.
That's a good story. That's twice I've heard about that one since I've asked for it to come over.
I have it right here.
Tim's smart.
All right.
Right there.
How's it going?
Swimming.
Progress. You want to wait right now, right?
Should have seen this other guy come by on his patio boat. First he makes a slow pass and they're all gawking, and then he comes back by and he opens it up.
And they're taking pictures.
Like I don't have enough problems.
Then they take pictures. And
Then they were taking pictures.
Daddy, you have 6 minutes left on this memory card.
what?
Nobody needs to see that. Head on out.
When the camera dies, I'm gonna come back in.
Good thing I took
Hi,
my gas
Peg.
tank and my battery out.
Not
yeah,
yet.
almost. All right, let's get this thing out of here.
You know that motor's as tall as me. My daddy had to.
Well, it's not as annoying as you.
He had me stand next to it.
Right, Daddy? It's not as annoying
Yes,
as
you're
Peter.
hilarious.
All edited out.
But not forgotten.
That's good for storage.
Where's the trailer for that boat?
At home.
It's a horrible trailer.
Where is the, no, it's not a horrible trailer.
No hold
The tires are dry rotted, so they don't hold air very well, but it's not a horrible trailer.
It's small.
Well, it's not a huge boat. Oh, my elbow hurts.
Not,
That's why
want
I
me
got
to get
the
ice
belt.
pack for you? Daddy?
What?
Want me to get an ice pack for you?
We'll use it later.
Come on, guys.
He'll use a cold one.
Hey, take it up a little bit. You're about to get a quick robo.
All right, so we're back at the house. I'm getting ready to put it on the motor stand for the night, but you can see this is supposed to be plywood. And that is why the transom had no strength. Yeah, it was much worse than I thought it was. Bail faster!
Perfect timing!
Yeah,
All the waves are coming.
lovely how everybody comes by and leaves a large wake.
Yeah, it feels like under the ocean, the water's leaking in, so we have to
Yeah, emergency bailing.
I think it'll come. I want to spread it out as much as we can. Yeah, no. I'd rather have the boat go than somebody get her.
How's your boat running?
I don't want to talk about it. You notice I was on the pontoon boat earlier? Not my boat.
Yeah. And the canoe.
Canoe runs fine.
Unless you break your arm.
Yeah, looks good.
Hey, I thought you put air in that tire.
I did.
Oh, it's flat now.
Yeah, because the heavy weight.
All push it, get it up on the rollers, otherwise you're never going to do that. So about that. Oh yeah. What you guys try to do this out in the water without a couple people?
It's the rug that's in the way.
Well, you know what you can do, Aiden? Go get that air tank.
It's all over there.
Oh, that's a shame then. We can go get it.